Discipline isn't built overnight. And nobody's coming to save you. It's the small choices, the early mornings, the late nights. It's all in the details. The clean spaces, the workouts you don't skip, the habits you stick to no matter what. All that done over and over and over again. It's showing up for yourself without having to beg yourself to. And it's so damn worth it, and I'm gonna explain exactly why. Now that you know what it takes, I'm gonna break down the tips and the techniques that are gonna help you build self-discipline and keep you consistent. So let's get into it. So why is discipline important? Because it's the highest form of self-love. It's choosing what's best for your future over what you want now. It's an investment in who you could become. It is trusting yourself so much that you believe in your own potential. It is choosing who you could become over the person you are now. And that really is everything. You see, discipline is in the daily choices we make. We usually make choices in favor of the pleasure we want to feel as opposed to the person we want to become. The brain always chooses dopamine over purpose. If given the choice, you're always gonna choose to scroll instead of doing something actually good for you. And you can't blame your brain for wanting to feel good. That is why you have to build a second brain. There are multiple versions of you that exist. The version that wastes time, the version that's productive, the version that hates discipline, and the version that loves discipline. You can choose which self you feed the most, and that is the one that will grow and flourish. So feed your higher self, associate with it, and become it. It is all about the person you become. The self-image, the ideals, the beliefs, the habits, all of that becomes your identity. If you can identify with the version of yourself that does the hard things and enjoys them, then you can win. It is all about identity. Everything changes when what's best for your future and what you want now become the same thing. When you want to improve, when you enjoy the discipline. Identify the consequences of not being disciplined. Imagine you continue being a slave to your desires, addicted to pleasure, and always wasting your time. Imagine who you'd be in 5 years, because there are consequences to your actions. It's not immediate, but it's almost always a delayed buildup of the actions you take. For example, who you are now and what you have is the buildup of the past 90 days of your life. All the choices you made, every minute you spend your time, all of that. And the next 1,000 days of your life, which is roughly 3 years, will dictate your entire future. Pause the video and write that down. This is the deciding factor of your entire life. Especially if you're in your 20s or your teens, the next 3 years of your life will determine everything. If you spend the next 3 years working on your craft, being disciplined and consistent, then you will have a successful life. And not just for a couple of years, but for your entire lifetime. I don't mean to sound pessimistic here, but if you spend the next 3 years wasting away your life, being a loser, procrastinating, and not focusing on anything, then your whole life will be like that. These 3 years will determine how you act for the rest of your life. You are forming habits and ways of thinking that will become so strongly ingrained in you that they'll be almost impossible to reverse. So find pleasure in doing what's hard, what's uncommon, what's not easy. Even if it pretty much sucks, you still need to learn to enjoy it in some way or the other. You kind of have to delude yourself into believing that you like it, believing that you enjoy it, and romanticizing the process of just loving the work that you do. Because the most sustainable progress and change is when you love it, or at least when you accept it. And it does take time and effort, but so does everything else. But then again, good things do take time. Make your reason so strong you just can't quit. Motivation fades, systems stay. Plan and track your progress and write your goals down in an orderly and timely fashion. Sometimes you stagnate at a level for so long, but that's just part of the process. So stay focused and remember, one step at a time. Discipline equals self-respect. Doing the things you said you'd do. Doing the things you know you need to do. Killing the comfort mentality, the I don't feel like it or I'll still do it later. When all feels lost, remember how much you've grown. Sure, the business might not be taking off, you might be tired, disappointed, but all that doesn't matter. Remember how much you are changing and growing, and know that this is the best investment you could have ever made. On another note, I use cinematic visuals to convey self-improvement. So if you like the look of my videos, I've created a preset that you can use today that will take your videos looking from something like this to something like this. Links in the description. You got this.